Donald J. Trump. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Donald. Happy birthday, President Trump. Happy birthday to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for launch the show. Tune in to ROC.
Wow, this is a nice crowd. And a lot of people outside, but I think we're going to have to keep it that way. Thank you.
USA! 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 USA!
Well, I just want to wish a very big hello to Club 47, which used to be Club 45, now it's 47. It did very well as 45. It's going to do even better as 47. There's nowhere else I'd rather be on my birthday. It's Flag Day, my birthday. And right here with thousands of proud American patriots from the great state of Florida. Let me begin by saying to everyone all across South Florida who were affected by the recent flooding, our prayers are with you. That was rain like few people have seen. Floridians are tough, and we will pull through it and pull through it quickly. And I just want to wish you all the best. We love you. God be with you then. Some tough times. Yes, few days. Thank you. I also want to thank Larry Snowden, and I'll tell you what, you just saw him as your great speaker. He's not a singer, but he's a good speaker. Not a great singer. He's not Pavarotti, do we? But he's a good man. Sue Snowden and Linda Stark for their outstanding work. Incredible people. Along with Senator Marco Rubio, thank you very much, Mr. Senator. Thank you. Thank you very much, Marco. Great job. And we have some members of Congress here, the warriors. Corey Mills. Corey, thank you, Corey. These are great people. Mike Waltz. Thank you, Mike. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, he was my doctor in the White House. He said I was the most healthy person he's ever seen. Thank you very much, Dr. Ronnie. He was a great doctor, a great admiral. Now he's a great congressman. Nancy Mace. Nancy, thank you. She won a big race. She just won a big race by a lot. Brian Mast, a very good friend. Phenomenal guy. More courage than all of us. And Gus Bilirakis. Gus, thank you very much. They've been so fantastic. That whole Florida delegation. State representatives also here. Webster, Barnaby Webster, thank you for the big prayer. Webster gave a beautiful prayer. And Rick Roth. And we have Ambassador David Friedman here, everyone. He loves Israel. David, thank you, David. And former ICE acting director, and he's not acting in my book, he's just the director, he's the boss. There's nobody that knows more about the border than Tom Homan. Where's Tom? What a great guy he is. He'll have the border. It'll take him about 2 minutes to fix it. It's the worst border in history.
2 minutes.
Florida CFO, Jimmy Petronas. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. In Florida, GOP Chair, Evan Power. Evan, good job you're doing, Evan. We appreciate it. Countless members of the Palm Beach Trump campaign, they're all here. We have a woman that nobody's ever heard of, but she works very hard, Kellyanne Conway. Nobody's heard of her. Thank you, Kellyanne. Thank you for everything. And we have World War II veteran and former B-17 ball turret gunner. You know what that is? That was dangerous stuff. Charles Phillips, who I just met, he's incredible. He's 101. He looks better than me. And he looks a hell of a lot better than Biden, I can tell you. He's got more guts. And my sister, Elizabeth. Where is Elizabeth? Right there, my beautiful sister. A great sister, too. Great one. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. And all of you, thank you very much. With the help of everyone here tonight, we're going to win this state in November. We're going to evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House. We're going to put America first, and we are going to quite simply make America great again. Less than 4 years ago, our border was secure. Inflation was nowhere to be seen. We had it down to a science. The world was at peace. And instead of weakness and failure, America was stronger and more respected than ever before. It was never so respected as it was for 4 years, just 4 years ago. Now under crooked Joe Biden, the world is in flames. We have a country that's being laughed at all over the world. Our border is overrun. Inflation is raging. Europe is in chaos. The Middle East is exploding. Iran is totally emboldened. They were broke when I was president. China is on the march. And the worst, most incompetent, most corrupt president in history is dragging us toward World War III. Under crooked Joe Biden, illegal aliens are better off, terrorists are better off, China is better off, Russia is better off, the cartels are better off, but the American people were far better off when you had a president named Donald J. Trump. Has anyone heard of him? Has anyone heard of him? Under my leadership, we had no wars. Instead of a globalist warmonger in the White House, you had a peacemaker at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We had energy independence and soon would have been energy dominant. We were dominant all over the world within a matter of months. We were going to be energy dominant, but we went to #1 in the world under Trump. I gave you record tax cuts, record inflation was knocked out. We had inflation like you've never had it, and now we have more inflation than probably, they like to say 52, and then 62, and then 75 years. I think it's the highest inflation we've ever had as a country. It's a country buster. But we have regulation that nobody has ever cut regulations to the extent that I did. We had rising wages and we lifted up all Americans, black, brown, white, and everything else. They were all lifted up. Everybody had jobs. Everybody was doing well. Women, men, everybody was doing well. If you had a diploma, if you didn't have a diploma, if you graduated #1 at MIT, if you didn't graduate at all, every single group was doing better than ever before. We stood up to China like nothing, like nobody has ever done. Everybody was being taken advantage of by China, to put it mildly, bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars when no other president had literally gotten 10 cents from China. We brought in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. We created Space Force. We rebuilt our military. We had it totally rebuilt. We obliterated, but we did something that everybody said you couldn't do it or it would take years. We quickly obliterated the ISIS caliphate, and we kept radical Islamic terrorists and jihadists the hell out of our country. We kept them out. They weren't here. I never used to like to talk about it. I didn't want to say while I was president, but I kept going and going. We never had an attack when I was president. We never had an attack because we kept them out. We had the strongest border in the history of our country. Now we have the weakest border in the history of the world. Very simple. It's not good. What's happening in our country is not good. The fact is our country is going to hell. But we're going to stop it. We're going to stop it fast. But now, instead of keeping out terrorists, Joe Biden has allowed thousands and thousands of terrorists to pour in for years. I've been warning that Crooked Joe is letting the world's sickest, most vile criminals infiltrate our southern border. And now everybody agrees that I was right. They're coming out of prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They're coming from countries all over the world, not just South America, but Venezuela. The violent crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminals out of Caracas and all of the different places and they moved them into the United States of America. Thank you very much, Venezuela. We appreciate it. Think of it. They're emptying out their countries all over the world of prisoners, of criminals, of drug dealers, and they're dropping them into our country. And we have a president who has no clue what the hell is going on. Just look at him yesterday, look at him the day before. In Europe, he doesn't know where the hell he is. Our country has never been in danger like it's in danger right now. Just this week, ICE has arrested not one, not two, but 8 suspected terrorists at the highest level of terrorism. We had a year, one of our years, I don't even believe it, it's too good to be true, but we had a year where they actually have down 0 terrorists came in. If you look at 2019, that was a Trump year, 0 terrorists came in, 0. I don't know if I even believe that, but it was certainly a nice report that was given out by the fake news, but maybe it wasn't fake. But I will tell you, that was the best stat that anybody had heard to that point. Now hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of terrorists are pouring into our country. We're going to be paying a big price. We're going to do this. This is the most important election that our country has ever had because we're a failing nation and we're not going to be a failing nation for long. We can't allow it to happen. According to reports, many of the terrorist savages entering through Joe Biden's open border. Can you ever imagine an open border where people are pouring in by the hundreds of thousands and by the millions? An open border. Crooked Joe Biden released these terrorists and all of these people into the United States, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. We have no idea who they are, where they come from. They're pouring into our country like never before. It's crazy. So he set them loose to spread their terror network all across America, and he probably doesn't even know it because he doesn't know where the hell he is. You know that, and I know that. I looked at the fake news today, and they were saying what a wonderful job he's doing in Europe. The guy is lost. Every time he does something, all he has to do is complete it, sort of. and the fake news, CNN, MSDNC, CBS, ABC, NBC, they go out, no, they're fake. There they are, look at how many. That's a lot. That's a lot of fake news back there. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're hurting our country badly. They're hurting our country badly. Biden gets up, makes the worst State of the Union speech anyone's ever seen, and every one of them said, "Wasn't he wonderful tonight? Wasn't he?"
Because they're
So in
paid.
addition to all of his other well-documented offenses, crooked Joe Biden is now also guilty of providing material support for terrorism.
Treason!
Under Biden, there's been a 3,000% increase in the number of people on the terror watch list crossing into our country from the southern border. 3,000%, and that comes from the Border Patrol. Our country is going to pay a steep price for many, many years. This is a terrible thing that's happened. Now, here's the story. We have time tonight, right? This is only if you want it.
The snake.
Only if you want it.
Anyway.
But by any chance, has anybody ever heard of the snake? The snake. Do we want to hear it tonight? Does anyone not want to hear it? That's the end. I have to do it, right? So this is really a metaphor. It's a song that was written long ago, not having to do with illegal immigration, but it plays very well for illegal immigration, and I've done it, and people like it a lot. And we'll do it. It takes just a minute, but it's very salient. It's something that is very salient and very accurate, unfortunately. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night. As soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, "Thank you, ma'am," the snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in." Right? That's what we are. That's what we're doing. We're taking people in, and those people are not the right people. We're taking people in, and we're going to have a lot of problems for a long time. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's so sad to watch. Our country is being destroyed by incompetent people, by grossly incompetent leadership. The dumbest, probably the dumbest leadership in the world. In fact, I think we should have, and I've called it, all presidents should have aptitude tests, IQ tests, or cognitive tests. Dr. Ronnie Jackson gave me one. He gave me one at the hospital. That's a great hospital, too. He said, well, sir, the problem is if you don't do well on it, it's going to get public. Because it's a public hospital, essentially, right, Ronnie? I said, well, is it hard? He said, yeah, it's hard. The last 3 quarters are pretty hard, right? The first question's easy. I said, well, let's do it, Ronnie, let's do it. Did I ace it? I aced it. He said I aced it. Dr. Ronnie from Texas. On day 1 of our new administration, we will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. Biden has given us no choice. The largest invasion in the history of our country requires the largest deportation in the history of our country. The largest up until now was Dwight D. Eisenhower, General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower. He did not like what was happening at the time. But you know what? That was a peanut compared to what's happening now. That was a peanut, a mere peanut. As we secure our border, I will also take immediate action to save our economy. As of this week, Crooked Joe has inflicted the longest period of continuous inflation in many, many decades, many, many years, at least 38 straight months where it's over a number that's unthinkable. Unthinkable. These are unthinkable numbers. 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9%. And then he tried to blame me last week, and even the fake news stuck up for me. He said, when I inherited the country, inflation was at 9%. That was just another one of the Biden lies. Inflation was at 1.4%. And thank you very much, fake news, for sticking up. They lie so much. That Biden group, they just lie. That's all they're good at. It's called misinformation/disinformation. Almost the same, but not exactly. But we won't get into it. Biden inflation, price hikes, and energy destruction have cost the average American family an astonishing $28,000. The monthly cost of a typical mortgage has doubled under Crooked Joe Biden. The 30-year mortgage rate is pushing toward 10%, and you can't get the money anyway. You know, with us, it was 2.5%, right? And there was plenty of money for everybody. On day 1 of my new administration, we will throw out Bidenomics and replace it very quickly with Maganomics. We like that. We will quickly rebuild the greatest economy in the history of the world, and America will prosper like never before. We will bring our country back. We will bring it back quickly. It's going to be quickly. Weak and failed Joe Biden has no plan to stop inflation. He has no idea what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he'll be in an hour. Where are you going to be later on this evening? I have no idea.
No idea.
His only ideas are spending more money, letting in millions more illegal aliens for whatever reason. You know the reason, look. Either they're stupid, and they can't be stupid when they cheat the way they cheat. Nobody ever cheated like they cheated. So either they're stupid or they hate our country, but there's a third reason. They want these people to vote. The only problem they have is if you're talking about Hispanic Americans, because a lot of Hispanic Americans, they're voting for Trump now. They're not voting for him. They like Trump better. They don't like incompetent people. By contrast, I have a plan to end the Biden inflation nightmare, and it will end very quickly. First, I will stop Joe Biden's inflation-causing spending spree and impose an immediate moratorium on Crooked Joe's hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in waste. He is wasting hundreds of billions of dollars. Even Europe, did you see? He flies back and forth and back and forth. He spends a day and then comes back. He falls asleep at every single event. The one beauty was here's a parachute landing. Everybody's watching and he's turned around in the other direction. The new leader of Italy did a great job. She said, turn around, you fool. So they don't respect our country anymore. But then his wife flew back and forth like it was a taxi cab. It's Air Force One and or Air Force Two. I mean, Just back and forth, back and forth. Let's go, sit in a trial for a day, go back, forth. It's really terrible. But that's endemic of the big picture. That's very endemic of the big picture. Crooked Joe spent $8 billion to build 7 charging stations for an electric vehicle. Did you know that? Spent $8 billion to build 7 charging stations. Can you believe it? He spent more than $1 billion apiece. Now they build about 1 million more stations. This is the craziest, this whole electric mandate. If somebody wants an electric car, I think that's great. But if you want a car that can go long distances, that's less expensive, that's made in our country, because electric cars are made in China, they're very expensive, and they don't go far. And I'm all for them, but if somebody wants one, we want it. But we want to, if they want gasoline or if they want a hybrid, you have to be able to get them. We will end his crazy electric mandate on day one. It'll be ended on day one. I will not approve 1 penny for the Green New Scam. It's called the Green New Scam. Second, I will end Joe Biden's war on American energy, and we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. And I've set the goal that by the end of my term, America will have the #1 lowest cost of energy and electricity all over. You know, if you go to New England, it's the most expensive energy practically on the planet. And we're going to get energy prices reduced within the first year to less than half of what they are right now. And that's going to bring down inflation. Third is to fight Joe Biden's inflation. We will stop the Biden migrant invasion, which is causing us tremendous problem. An estimated 50% of inflation has been caused by the soaring cost of housing, which is skyrocketing due to illegal immigration and high interest rates. You got to see, the migrants that come in illegally, in many cases they're criminals, I said, from jails and from mental institutions. They're getting treated better than our military, than our veterans. Our veterans are lying on the streets, and we're taking care of people, putting them in luxury hotel rooms. And our military is lying on the street. It's all going to end. Crooked Joe let in 16 million people so far with no place to put them. This is not sustainable by any country. Biden's illegal aliens are driving up rent, food costs, healthcare costs, taxes, and more. How about Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom is the failed governor of California. And he was saying, come to California, we'll take care of your health care, we'll take care of your hospitalization, we'll take care of everything. And you know what happened? Everyone believed him, and they're all pouring into our country at levels never seen before. They're worse now. Then he comes up, you know, he's getting killed in the polls. You know, there's a guy named Trump that's killing this guy. So they came up with a phony border plan. The congressman knows very well, totally phony plan. And he never used it. It was no good anyway. It allowed millions of people to come in. It was the worst, stupidest plan I've ever seen. But he decided not to use it because more people came in after he did the plan than we've ever seen before. Thousands of people a day started pouring into our country. This was last week. It's a disgrace what's happening to our country. They're laughing at us all over the world. President Xi of China, you take a look. Kim Jong-un of North Korea, take a look at what they're saying about us. They can't believe it's happening. In fact, if it weren't for the stupidity, the dumbest move, the worst, I think the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, Afghanistan. The way we got out, not the fact that we were getting out with dignity and strength and power. We were keeping Bagram, the Air Force Base, because it's only 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. You know who occupies Bagram right now? China! They occupy one of the biggest air bases in the world with the biggest runways, most powerful, strongest runways, deepest concrete. That was when we knew how to build, and we built with big dollars, and we built it, and we gave it up, just left. 1 hour away from where China, now China is occupying it. It's a disgrace. They laugh. They think we are so stupid. They think he is the dumbest human being. They can't even believe. President Xi says this is some kind of a trick. When Biden walks in, and he has no idea where the hell he is. Where are we? He can't find his way off the stage. See this stage? We got stairs all over the place. He can never find his way. I don't want to imitate, because anytime I imitate, they say it was Trump. I called up our great First Lady. I say, I made this great speech. 58,000 people, I made this speech, and then I imitated him, trying to find his way off the platform. I go, you know the way he always goes like, huh. And then he looks around, where the hell is he going? He's pointing to us there. Then he looked, but you know what? These Secret Service guys are stars. They always run up and grab him. They run up, they see he's in big trouble. But I imitated him not long ago, and I did the full imitation. Then I ended up walking into a wall. And I said, baby, how good was that? How great was I tonight? We had some crowd. That was a massive crowd. How good was I? You were really good. You know, usually she'll say, I didn't like your hair. She'll say, I say, how good was I? You didn't look great. Your hair was terrible. I said, who else can get crowds like I get? Nobody. 68,000 people in Alabama. 107,000 people in New Jersey 2 weeks ago. 107. 25,000 people in the South Bronx. And it was a love fest. It was a love fest. Now we get the biggest crowds in the history of politics. I hate to say it. And by the way, if it weren't true, they would be saying it would be headlines. But I said, who else can get these numbers? You tell me, how good was it? And she'd say, you know, your suit was bad. Have you gained weight? I'd say, here I am up there. But, you know, one day she said it was phenomenal. But what happened? You couldn't find your way off the stage. And I said, they said that, so I can't kid anymore, because they know we kid, and we can't be sarcastic anymore because they take it, Byron, they take it as the truth. Isn't that terrible, my great warriors over here? They know we're kidding. We can't kid anymore because these people are so dishonored. I said, no, I was just imitating crooked Joe Biden. She said, oh, I see. Well, they didn't say that. They just showed you running into walls. And fourth, I will cancel every unnecessary and costly Biden regulation that is driving up prices. The Biden regulations have added $10,000 a year in regulatory costs per household. By contrast, under my administration, we saved $10,000 per household. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. More tax cuts than any president in history, including Ronald Reagan with his big tax cuts. More regulation cuts than any president in history. And we rebuilt our military and we added Space Force. What we did is incredible. Now, the rebuilt military, you know, unfortunately, this fool left Afghanistan with $85 billion of brand new planes and tanks and even goggles, night goggles, 77,000 vehicles. Think of it. Who needs 77? If you took the largest used car lot in Florida, I'll bet they don't have more than 500 cars, maybe 700, maybe 1,000. 77 trucks and vehicles, many of them armor-plated, were left in Afghanistan. And I tried to explain to people, we were getting out with dignity and strength, but the first thing you do is you take your military out last. They took the military out first. And once the military were gone, the Taliban had a field day. We lost 13 soldiers, and nobody mentions the 38 soldiers that were horrifically wounded with their arms blown off, their legs blown off, their face so badly damaged. They're warriors. They're warriors. But nobody mentions them. I mention them all the time. I mention them all the time. And we left many people there. Americans are there right now. And we should have never left that big, beautiful airbase. We should have never left it. There has never been a more embarrassing moment, in my opinion, in the history of our country. And because of that, Putin attacked Ukraine. I mean, that's what happened. He looked at these incompetent people. He said, is this what I have to deal with? If I were there, he would have never, ever